Hello and welcome back to Norty's Forgotten Flicks. So one of my favorite types of films is setting it at a secluded house and then aliens invade.
Signs is one of my favorite films of all time, Nope is one of my favorites of the decade so far, and then there's the previously reviewed films Incident in Lake County and Slumber Party Alien Abduction. Don't get me wrong, I love a good, big, loud alien invasion movie where cities are obliterated, but there's something about the isolated home being so far away from other people that just makes it so creepy.
And a more recent entry in that genre is 2023's No One Will Save You.
Released to Hulu in September 2023, No One Will Save You was directed by Brian Duffield, who had only directed one film before this, but has written films such as Insurgent, Underwater, and The Babysitter. It follows a young woman named Bryn, played by Caitlin Dever, who lives alone in a secluded house outside a small town left to her by her deceased mother. As she goes into town, we see that she isn't very well liked amongst the residents, with them either straight up ignoring her, scoffing at her, or even spitting on her. She also writes letters to someone named Maud, as you realize that something happened in her past. But later that night, she hears something rattling around downstairs, and when she gets up, she sees that something otherworldly is in her kitchen. What follows is the standard hiding from an intruder stuff we've seen in other movies, but very, very well done. Seriously, if you love alien invasion in secluded homes as much as I do, the first 20 minutes is top tier stuff. From her making a step that creaks, alerting it that someone's there, to the fact that they can control electricity, the music, sound effects, editing. I was holding my breath even while rewatching it. And it follows the rule of not showing too much, revealing a little more over the first act.
But then something happens, and I do think this is one of those movies that you should go in as blind as possible, so please give it a watch if you haven't, and here we go with spoilers.
Bryn quickly grabs a sharp object, and as the alien uses telekinesis to grab her, she slams it into its head, killing it. So now with a dead alien in her house and the probability that some more may come, she goes to town, but of course, no one will help her. Especially seeing as some of the townspeople may have been abducted and had their bodies taken over by the aliens already. This movie could have just been a standard alien invasion flick. Based on the first 20 minutes, it probably would have been a good one, but it decides to tell its story very differently.
And the most unique way they do that is that the movie has no dialogue.
Oh, there's screams, there's grunts, there's groans, and some inaudible talking when she goes into town, but besides a couple of lines over an hour into the film, the only dialogue is music from a song she plays to dance to. The first time I watched this, we got about a half hour in before I went, wait, has anyone actually talked? Now this could have bombed, but Caitlin Dever is fantastic, able to convey every emotion with no words. You may remember her from previous Forgotten Flicks, Booksmart and Detroit. The other way it's different is it's very surreal. I said in my best films of 2023 that this film does similar to what Alex Garland does in his films, where in the third act the movie just stops trying to have a coherent plot and just goes into crazy images and droning sounds. And that's what this does. This movie ends like 5 times, and I normally would be annoyed, but I just wanted to see where it would all lead. And it's one of those movies I actually liked hearing people's interpretations of.
But one of my favorite things about the movie are the aliens themselves.
Unlike many alien invasion films that try to keep them hidden a majority of the time, this film says screw it, and in the last half you see these things a lot. And one criticism I've heard is that they look pretty generic. They have the bulbous heads, big black eyes, tiny mouths, they're tall and skinny, gray skin, the typical alien design, and yeah, but that's why I like it. There's a reason it's a cliche design. It's creepy. This is what I want aliens to look like. Also, they make creepy sounds. But there seem to be different races of aliens. Like, one is the standard you expect, one is smaller, one is bigger with giant spider legs. But what I love is that they all kind of have different personalities. Like, we see one of the medium ones and it spends a lot of the time just fucking with her. It practically doesn't care about her. The short one goes nuts, almost like it's trying to make up for its small size. And my favorite part is where the big one sees his buddies leaving after they fail to capture her, and I swear he nearly starts crying.
My favorite scene is in the basement because it's really scary, but also a little funny.
Here's the gist. She's hiding and one of the aliens comes down. You've seen this a ton of times. She hides behind a pillar, sees a pair of scissors, and hides below a desk. Now watch. Like, we've seen this a ton, so you think you know where it's going. It's even directing our attention towards the right. It's probably gonna walk there and she'll stab it in the leg, or maybe she'll escape without it noticing, but then it just pops up to her left. That made me scream, but it's also a little bit funny. This movie is great. I honestly think it would have been fine going to theaters. The effects on the aliens are excellent. Critics liked it, and it went over with general audiences better than I thought it would for a surreal film with no dialogue. If you have a Hulu subscription, it's one of the best original movies on that service.
So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you just like this blank DVD. Dearest Norty, I regret that I am not able to meet you in person, and I hope to be able to explain to you why in the near future. But it is very important that you follow my instructions, or the consequences for us both could be dire. On this DVD, you will find 30 Halloween episodes to cover over the first 30 days of October. I assume you remember doing something similar 4 years ago. Yeah. Each episode aired in a specific year since your birth in 1993. The final episode I have hidden somewhere in the city. I have hidden clues to lead you to it, but to make it easy, I will tell you the first one is in the park. You should... What? The one you did that weight loss video at last year? I know you may find this hard to believe, maybe think I'm pulling a joke on you, but I cannot emphasize how important it is that you review all 30 episodes and find episode 31. If not, we may both die. Best of luck, a friend. So I just reviewed something with aliens, and this thing is telling me to review other things. Alright, which one of you did it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What about you, buddy?
He can't talk.
What? Wait, really?
No, what are you, crazy?
Okay, so neither of you sent me that note to DVD?
No, we've been locked up for the past 2 years. But I'll say, whoever it is, I like him.
Okay.
Hey, you asshole, let me out of here, you fascist. I hate you with the passion of 1,000 suns. You're a bastard, and I hope you die slowly.
You know what? I'm curious about this. Coming next month, Norty's Halloween Spooktacular 2. And a more recent entry in that genre is 2023's Not Sorry to Bother You.